Take what I am owed.
Raliborians. The beach version. You hear that, Brad? Poo-poo. HTB Alkaizer. Sandwich. Dude, my 7 TV's bricked again. Fuck you.
Meek creature!
Groliborian. Force. You.
Meek creature!
Grandma.
STK God, he loved that PoE too. And when he log in, he be wiping all them blue. He be loving it.
Meek creature!
What if we are all toads?
Dork's addicted and decidedly. Thanks, dudes. 3 subs. What's it, dudes? Do. You're Blue Boar and I'm Blue Boar. Everybody knows it's time for Blue Boar. Blue Boar! He's here. Someone type love PoE 2. Does it work now? No, they're still invisible for me. Unlucky. Whatever. Don't care. 7TV stupid and dumb. Retarded. Is what it is. I guess I'm sitting here for 33 minutes. Enjoy. Corgoses and Corgoses and Corgoses and evil baby doga death. Greater than? I might finish it later. Not today though. I don't know if we get 1 week or we get 2 weeks. Well, my guess is going to be 8 days. We're going to do this live announcement, and then they're going to say the league is 8 days or whatever. If it's like 15 days, that's kind of weird. It could happen though, but I think 8 days.
Last hitting creeps. It is seriously embarrassing watching you miss creeps when there isn't an enemy harass.
Oh, fuck me! Shut the fuck up! Oh, fuck, I hate these cunts! Perma venom! Fucking perma venom! I just fucking
Thank you, Anonymous, for gifting my
You understand? Blue boar. Braliborians.
The arena, glory is witnessed. But in the world, it is taken.
I don't think they're going to talk about the Duelist like hardly at all, if even at all. I think they're going to do like 1 or 2 ascendancies, 1 or 2,
I will
and
what I am owed.
maybe like some half league mechanic or something, and then a little bit of changes. I don't think it's going to be a lot. I think it's going to be pretty little, honestly. Maybe the Ranger, Last Ascendancy, the Mana Archer. There's a Q&A with Ziggy. What is this like stream title? It says, so it's an announcement. That looks like it probably lasts about an hour. And then there's the last ExileCon race qualifier. Is that correct? They're back to back essentially. What? What did you link that? I should ban you. Waste my time. Who linked that? Kurosaki, I don't get it. Permaban. I don't think this is gonna be very big. So, we'll see. Maybe there's like some cool stuff.
That logo appear there.
In the arena, glory.
This game
is
looks like it's from
witnessed,
2012 with these graphics.
but in the world,
Okay, that looks better.
it is taken.
Wait, is this actually it? Oh wait, it actually is PoE.
Did Grand Theft Auto come out today or something? I don't really pay that much attention. Is that why it's playing all this year?
They look kind of sick though.
Oh, it's an announcement? I see. I don't care. No, I played a little bit of Grand Theft Auto. I don't know which one it was. It was in 2004. Whatever GTA was popular then. That's the one I played for a little bit at a friend's house when I was homeless. I just remember punching people and running over people with cars. San Andreas? That might be it, yeah. That might have been the one. Sounds familiar. It was Zelda on the NES and that GTA game. Depending on what is here, I might log into PoE too, like tomorrow. Probably not today, but I've been up all day, but maybe tomorrow. Start doing the thing again. There's one build I kind of wanted to try that I didn't get around to. This is like PoE 2, and then they wanted me to do a bunch of Torchlight stuff. I didn't even finish that last character. I was on the Supercharged Slime one. Anonymous gifter with the gifted sub. What's up, dude? There's 1.8 million people watching GTA stuff. Twitch is shitting itself. Yeah. Do you guys hear lyrics to this music? What are the lyrics? You could just be the one blue boar. You could just be the one blue boy. 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 Blue boy, he's been playing, I think Street Fighter 6. No, he's playing Hero Siege and Street Fighter 6. That's what he's playing. I've been doing fuck all. Just waiting till the next thing to play. Blue boy. GD new car? I didn't stream that much Ascendant mode. I think I did one stream of it, or maybe a stream and a half, or something. And like, you power creep so hard in I think Grim Dawn's easier than it's ever been. Because the Ascendant affixes are so much power. Like, I think Grim Dawn's like easier than it's ever been. My character just got so absurdly strong. I wasn't even done with it, too. You could be Blue Boar Beach version. I think I'm just waiting on PoE, honestly. You had a Slim Jim today? That's a permaband. I'm just waiting for him. I'm just gonna see what's up with this, what the PoE 2 stuff looks like. I can play some meme characters if it's just like a filler patch, filler league. I expect it's like a filler league. Like, I don't even know if there'll be any amount of like new mapping stuff mechanic, but maybe. 8 new sword skills leaked? Hell yeah, I love sword skills. It's gonna be Tota? Small chance, I guess, sure. Who was in this stream? This was a good stream. This was only half a year ago, 6 months ago. That was a good stream. The game's actually kind of fun. Moaning, dude. Get him. Oh, I cut it out right when I whipped out the dual pistols. Fuck.
In the arena, glory is witnessed. But in the world, it is taken.
Is this me playing Age of Empires 4? So for context, you're not allowed to use one unit in this scenario. You're not allowed to lose one unit. What?! Bullshit, man. Well, micro is good.
I will take what I am owed.
Raliborian. Rallyborians. Is there anywhere you can download the PoE 2 music yet? You can't download it off the website still, right? Pirate Bay? Is that even still a thing? I haven't used a torrent since, like... I don't think I've used a torrent since, like, 2012 or something. 2011. Yeah, but I have to like convert those YouTube videos into files in MP4 or whatever. It's a little effort.
Throwing flashbang.
Dude! Dude! Ah!
It's the law, Chad. I don't want to miss the law.
What? You gotta do that. The car is coming for you. Hello, blue boy bitch. 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 You know what I mean? I understand the decision. Why did we get nostril hairs, man? What if they just give us axes right now? This patch gives us the Marauder, and that's it. If this patch was just the Marauder, would that be sick? It's crazy that this is 5 years ago.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Strike. With every swing of my weapon imbued with canine genitalia, Cirrus' life force dwindled away, and I knew victory was within my grasp. Then, just as Cirrus was on the brink of defeat, I unleashed the full power of the Dogvik Strike, causing a massive explosion of pure dog dick energy that obliterated Cirrus Awakener of Worlds in an instant. The sheer force of the blast knocked me back, and I lay there, basking in the glory
Nolan
of
Ryan,
my
what's up,
victory.
dude? Thanks for the reset.
As I returned to my cuck shed, victorious and covered in the remnants of my vanquished foe, I knew that I had solidified my place as a god gamer. No longer would I be just another streamer with an 85 IQ and a love for dog dicks. I was now a legend forever.
What the fuck is this, dude? He just keeps fucking going.
I'm gonna chat. I need to make some coffee.
Whoa! Ah!
I'm gonna chat. I need to make some coffee.
Whoa! Ah! I can't stop! No, 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 no!
Abby, please call the architect.
On the PoE website, it doesn't have all the tracks. Last time I looked, I only had like, what, like a fourth of them?
Greek time. My W was bugged this match, and I had to stream simmers. Watch me do the same thing next game. Greek time. My W was bugged this match, and I had to stream simmers. Watch me do the same thing next game.
Think about this, Friendly Taco Man. Poor Ghost Dance. Blue boy. Blue boy. Okay, before my hair. Full bulb. What I look like full bulb? This is like the closest you get. What if, you know, full bulb, no hair? Retarded.
In the arena, glory is.
You guys see him in chat? STK Guard, you excited for this?
It is taken.
No. I think you're doing this right now, honestly. Check this out. STK got 11 PoE2. And when he log in, he be wiping them blues. He loving it. Shh, shh. He loving it. Shh, shh. STK Guard, get out of your chair and start doing this. STK got 11 PoE2. And when he log in, he be wiping them blues. He's loving it. He's loving it.
Unzip.
STK got 11 PoE2. And when he log in, he be wiping them blues. He's loving it. STK got 11 PoE2. And when he log in, he be wiping them blues. He's loving it. He's loving it.
Meek creature.
Love Po2.
You doing the dance right now? SDK? You need to be loving it. Like, well, if you're not loading it, what are you doing with your time? Have you seen the edit of that one with the meteor in the background? That one's good. I gotta warn you guys, boogers are approaching, like, very soon. I'm gonna mute it though, watch this. Why is it that loud? SDK guard, you loving it? He's loving it. I got so many boogers in my nostrils right now, help.
Meek creature.
Morning Gee, thanks you for the resub. Hold up. Do you understand? Emote's not working properly because fucking Kai Loco has 600,000 viewers on Twitch. It's breaking the fucking thing. Six minutes for the hugest announcement that was ever announced. What if the stream is like 10 minutes long? It's possible, honestly. Like, what are they gonna talk about? Axes?
Think about how there's people starving to death and shit.
What about your damage?
Oh, think about how there's people starving to death and shit.
What about your damage?
Oh, think about how there's people starving to death and shit.
What about your damage?
Oh,
Instantly, what about your damage? What about your damage, man? Help, my boogers.
Tesla bot. Run a 50 trillion iteration simulation on how to make my build do damage.
Zero results.
It's a Corgo, evil dog of death.
Meek creature!
9.
Gords, what's up, dude? Thanks for the 99-month free sub. Do we get a new weapon? Probably not, but maybe. Koros awakens. I will eat my own poop if they add a new class. I don't think that's that unlikely. I mean, an Ascendancy at least. I don't think we'll get Templar, but... What if it's Toda and Axes? Toda plus 2 Marauder Ascendancies. Raleigh Boar, he just got down on the floor. You better watch out, Ari Young, because he's clearly ready for more. He's clearly ready for more. Raleigh Boar is now on your living room floor, and lo and behold, he's on the floor.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2, and today I'm excited to show off our new class, the Duelist, which will be available in the 1.0 release on December the 11th. But for those of you who just can't wait until 1.0 later this year, after showing the Duelist, we'll also be showing off a new event based on the Ritual League called the Forbidden Rites, which will be releasing next week along with the 055 update. And after all that, a Q&A with Ziggy D to answer your questions from Twitch chat. But not only that, afterwards we'll be going straight to the final qualifier for the PoE 2 races, the winner of which will be going to ExileCon in November to compete in the finals. But first, the Duelist. Now the Duelist comes with a new weapon type that it's kind of crazy we didn't have, swords. And with each new weapon type, we want to make sure that the playstyle feels different to all the others. So what defines combat with a sword? To us, it's that feeling of flow, from attack to attack, and from stance to stance. And what better place to demonstrate the Duelist's abilities than the ruins of the Grand Arena? The corpses of the dead continue to fight endlessly as the arena collapses around them, and should you get to the center, you'll be able to face Thrax, their champion. The first mechanic we need to talk about is Ready Stance. After using some Duelist skills, you can keep holding the button to ready your blades for your next strike. Normally, your basic sword slash would look like this. but in ready stance it turns into a deadly AoE slash instead. Your ready stance also has the ability to be upgraded. This is Sand Scour, another ready stance attack, and if you stun enemies with it, you'll enter Sand Stance, and using this with your default attack will send out a Sand Disc. But default attack isn't the only ability that can be modified by your stance.
Don't type that, Paul.
Perforate, for example. This skill is a triple stab, where the third strike sends out drills, bleeding your enemies. But from ready stance, you can skip right to the drills. If you use it from Sand Stance though, it will send out a bunch of mini Sand Discs from every enemy it hits. Perfect for large packs. Together, these basic abilities give a very unique feel to sword combat. It's quite different than any other class we've made, flowing from ability to ability. There's also some abilities that you can use while in ready stance, without breaking it. A good example are war cries, like this one, Intimidate.
Time to die!
Use it to deliver a cutting insult to your foe.
Time to die!
Causing your next attack to knock them off balance.
Intimidate.
Another great ability you can use already is Rending Dash. This movement skill slices through monsters, but since you stay in ready stance, it allows you to reposition to the perfect angle to strike. So far, we've been using Sand Stance to tackle these enemies. But what about Blood Stance? For that, we'll need to switch from two-hand to dual wield. Now with swords, we wanted to make sure that the different options of one-hand, two-hand, or dual wield each have their own interesting playstyle. So unlike other weapon types, dual wielding swords gives you the ability to parry attacks. Follow up with Bloodied Blade to enter Blood Stance. When using this one with default attack, you'll create a deadly blood wave, causing your enemies to bleed. And of course, Blood Stance will also work with other skills that benefit from stances. So use it with Perforate, for example, and you'll get a bunch of mini blood novas. Once your enemies are bleeding, you might want to try out Hemorrhage. This skill creates deadly blood slashes that drastically speed up the bleeding on your enemies. And once the enemies have built up enough blood loss, slice through them with a Rending Dash to consume all
This
blood
is
loss
just straight up fucking
and
Quinn cosplay right now.
Now one skill we couldn't have made the Duelist without is Cyclone. It's an absolute fan favorite, and just like before, when using it, you can spin to win. But this class is all about using stances, so how about we try it with one of those? Use Cyclone from Sand Stance, and you'll be spewing Sand Discs at your enemies left and right. Great for AoE clear. Now Parry also had a significant upgrade compared to before, and it's a lot more reliable now. But there's also another way to parry monsters that doesn't require waiting for them to attack you. By switching to a shield, you can now bash enemies straight out of ready stance to parry them without waiting for an attack. During the arena's heyday, challengers would first have to face deadly beasts to test their mettle, so why should it be any different now? Before you can face Thrax, you will need to defeat these dangerous adversaries to prove your worth.
Bleed build!
Another trick the Duelist has up his sleeves are Buried Blades. Earthrend creates blades that slice through the ground towards your enemies, and once in the ground, these blades have a few uses. The first one of these can be done using Charged Slash. The basic version is a simple lightning-infused cleave, but do it from ready stance, and it changes into a deadly spin, sending out lightning projectiles. But Charged Slash can also be used with the Buried Blades. Hitting them will turn them into mini Tesla coils, dealing lightning damage to nearby enemies. It seems here we have a warrior who refused to die. I'm sure we could put his equipment to better use.
Just a petty thief.
Quiet. I've no guilt in this.
You could also switch to a two-hander. Plunge your blade into the ground, sending out a set of 3 blades that explode. But if you use Earthrend first, then you can get even more blades, and the blade plunge will make all of them explode. If you want an even greater field of blades, using Ready Stance with Earthrend has an interesting effect. Instead of creating one blade, it makes an entire wall of them. You can also hold the Blade Plunge skill to charge up the swords even further before they explode. Ooh, watch out for those chimeras. So for maximum damage, use Ready Stance into Earthrend, charge them up with Charged Slash, and do a held Blade Plunge for a massive explosion. But that's not all. Blood and Sand work with the Blade Plunge too, to empower all your buried blades. Use it with sand to generate continuous sandstorms around all your blades. and this can be a devastating combo to blend bosses. Or use it with blood to create blood pools around each blade. Cycloning through the blood pools will add blood to your cyclone, so that can be a fun option. But while we're talking about that, Cyclone counts as a storm, so it can pick up other elemental ground effects too. Blade Conduit will summon a bolt of lightning to your blade and create shocking ground, and cycloning through it will add lightning to your cyclone. Combine it with the blood to get both effects. And of course it's possible to get blood, sand, ice, fire, and lightning all at the same time on your cyclone. You guys will have to work out a good build for that yourselves. Already you can see from just the tools I've shown you, this class has a lot of interesting combinations of abilities. With even just a few skills, there are a huge number of options you can do in combat. Now before we get to the boss fight of this area, there's just one more skill I'd like to show you. World Cutter. Charge it up and unleash the ultimate slash. But that's not all. Like so many of the Duelist abilities, it can be further enhanced with Blood Stance, or Sand Stance too. Alright, so those are just a few of the tools the Duelist has at his disposal. So let's use them to face the true threat, Thrax, the champion of the arena.
Come to Thrax, little one.
The fight's still going.
Alright, so that's a taste of what we have in store for the Duelist. It's my favorite class I've ever worked on, and provides a really dynamic combat experience that's just quite unlike any other ARPG. But we also wanted to show what kind of possibilities there are for the Duelist in the endgame. To do that, I'll hand things over to Mark.
Hi, Game Director on Path of Exile. Today, we're going to go through 2 in-game builds that we've put together for the Duelist made by our developers. Our first build is called the Bringer of Blades, a mighty name once feared in the arena. This build is all about rising buried blades from beneath the ground. Some say each sword created by this build is from a foe slain in battle in the gladiator arena, and from the afterlife, they offer their sword back to you in respect. The bread and butter of this build uses Earthrend, supported by the lineage support Calm's Madness, to maximize the efficiency of creating buried blades. It combines that with the Blade Conduit skill, to charge up all the blades with lightning. You can also
Does this look kind of like Mace gameplay right now, like this build?
If you want to minimize risk and play shock ground underneath your enemies. We also have Earthrend supported
It was like
by
clunky, multi-button.
so that we can keep the enemy's crowd control.
Like, look at this.
Then it's just simple. Spam Earthrend, occasionally using Blade Conduit to refresh the charged lightning on all the blades. For stronger enemies, or larger packs, we want to be able to get Sand Stance. The best way to do that while clearing is using Combat Frenzy. Simple. Now you're generating frenzy charges. With those, we can use Sand Scour to enter Sand Stance. And from Sand Stance, use Blade Plunge to cause sand discs to appear on all of our many buried blades, covering the screen in storms of sand. Of course, you want to use eroding sands too, because as the sand discs are doing many small hits, you want to make sure enemies have as little armor as possible for maximum damage. Alongside that, since we're doing lightning damage, we're also going to throw in the new support Sandstorm, which causes our sand discs to become infused with lightning. The other tool we're using is this support, which causes all your buried blades to add miniature auras that give you damage. To double down on that further, we have this new passive skill Notable, which also causes your buried blades to make you angry, causing you to generate rage on hit while near them. With those, we want even more buried blades. So, let's take it to the extreme. And for that we have this skill, Rain of Steel, which allows you to call down a whole ruckus of swords, covering the entire battlefield in buried blades. It's pretty obvious what to do next. Just use the existing combos, and the entire screen becomes surging with lightning as sand discs run wild. There's more coming even still. Alongside the Duelist, we've made a whole bunch of new epic swords. I mean, just look at them all. This build in particular uses this sword, which causes all your buried blades to be enhanced by Karui magic and become ancestrally boosted. Then, take these new passive skill notables, specifically for boosted attacks, to improve your efficiency even further. There's a few new ways to boost attacks with the Duelist, and we're excited for you to discover and integrate them into your builds. With all that combined, look at this actual mayhem. Now, we tried to not use unique items on this build, as we wanted to show its potential with just standard gear and skills. But this next one is a different story. So, let's move on to our second build. Here we have the Scourge Walker. For this build, we wanted to do Cyclone with a twist. For that, we're going to use some uniques, starting with a new sword being introduced alongside the Duelist, Oro's Sacrifice. This sword grants a ton of fire damage, at the expense of your physical damage, and grants a new skill called Infernal Step. Infernal Step itself is pretty fun, and pretty epic. Use it as you flicker around, burning enemies as you strike them. Be wary though, there are both upsides and downsides to using this skill consecutively. Each use gains you a stack of Sacrificial Flame. While this isn't inherently a downside, using Infernal Step while you have Sacrificial Flame causes you to take fire damage, and the more you have, the more you take. So you want to make sure you mitigate as much fire damage taken as possible. In order to do this, we're using even more uniques, like these, which have received some changes, Molten Tenet and Zoph's Blood. Then we've just gone and used good armor gear in our core armor slots to stack up as much defense as possible. So, what about damage? We're doing a few things here that are pretty out there. Given we're using Oro's Sacrifice, we're dealing purely fire damage. However, we still need to be able to bleed for some huge DPS you'll see soon. To do that, we're using this unique ring, Blistering Bond. This allows our fire damage to scale bleeding, instead of physical damage. Our last unique is Beric's Respite. As said originally, we want a Cyclone, which is a wind skill, and can benefit from elemental ground surfaces. Now, our Cyclone is a fiery vortex. One last thing to note before showcasing our Scourge Walker in action is that Oro's Sacrifice also grants you frenzy charges while at maximum Sacrificial Flame. This will allow us to fold Bloodied Blade into our rotation between Cyclone sessions to get Blood Enhanced Cyclone. Alright, now you can see our basic rotation. First, we use Infernal Step a few times. Then, once we have a frenzy charge, we use Bloodied Blade. This puts us in Blood stance. And then it's simple, Cyclone away. As you can see, we have the perfect harmony of demonic powers. Blood and fire fill the screen. Honestly though, we need to add some horror and flesh to the build to really embrace the fantasy. For that, let's use this new support gem, which we will put on our Cyclone. Given we're already bleeding, this can cause enemies to shed chunks of flesh when hit, which explode after a short delay. Check out this
I'm
rocket.
pretty sure this guy has 0 AoE.
Oh, and while we're at it, let's add even
Like,
more
actually.
fire by using the Fan the Flame support. At this point, you can already see how much this is getting out of control. I love it. You may notice we have an excess of frenzy charges. So, you want to throw on Echoing Strikes, which consumes all your frenzy charges to cause our next Cyclone to create a bunch of Cyclones. Feel free to add Infernal Cry to the mix, cause why not? Okay, well it's already pretty damn strong, but we can push it further. What about single target? For that, we're going to make use of our second weapon set, and use a one-hand sword and Targe, which
He's gonna
grants
parry, dude.
However, instead of using a regular Targe, we're going to use this Runeforged Targe, which grants us a special version of parry that maintains its stances when used. So if you are in blood stance and use it, you will remain in blood stance afterwards. This includes while using the dashing parry that Jonathan mentioned earlier. We are going to want our parry debuff duration to be as long as possible, so we can spend more time spinning. To get that, we're using another new sword base type. This one adds base duration to parry. We've also then invested into as much parry duration in this weapon set as possible on new passives on the tree. Now, we can make this even better by using a new support that allows our parry to apply Armor Break. And to get it to benefit from our fire damage, we will anoint the Molten One's gift on our amulet. Now, our Armor Break causes enemies to take extra fire damage. So now, we just get into blood stance using Bloodied Blade, use parry, which dashes in, keeping us in blood stance, then we cyclone our way to glory. Don't forget to also use Echoing Strikes once you get enough frenzy charges.
You think Korgos is considered to be the Raven
just look at this
Trickster?
damage. You may have noticed we didn't show any Ascendancy classes. That's right, these builds weren't even Ascended, so their build potential goes so much higher. And the Ascendancies are pretty epic. Here's some art to tease them. But to find out more about that, you'll have to check them out when we show them at ExileCon later this year.
What?
We hope you enjoyed our Duelist demonstration. We're really excited to have you get your hands on it and start slicing and dicing throughout Rayclast. Now, Path of Exile 2's full 1.0 launch is later this year on December 11th. But if you just can't wait till then, next week we are doing our 055 update, and it includes a bunch of changes as well as a new event. Given that, it's finally time to talk about Forbidden Rites, a new event based on the Ritual League that will be starting with our 055
Trial
patch
of
next
Chaos
week.
rework.
But that's not all. We also have a massive overhaul to the Trial of Chaos, some new in-game Abyss content, and more. So, let's dive straight into it. The King in the Mists and his cultists, left unchecked, have spread their influence. By his will, the Nameless have been performing gruesome rituals throughout Rayclast, all the way from the forests of Ogum to the deserts of the Maraketh, and even Utsal and the Karui Islands, afflicting everything around them with a foreboding darkness. As you can see, they've been quite successful in their efforts, and if not stopped soon, who knows what will become of Rayclast. During the Forbidden Rites event, your goal is to put an end to their nefarious plans. In each area of the campaign, you'll find a ritual encounter. For those unfamiliar, these are effigies that are guarded by the Nameless and their servants. By defeating them within the ritual site, you can then activate the effigy and fight them again as they are revived by dark magic, all whilst various plagues will try to kill you. Defeating the revived monsters causes their blood to go to the effigy to be used as tribute. After the encounter, use the tribute you earned to acquire rewards. These rituals.
When you were watching the Titan or the Duelist gameplay, were you like, I just want to play this on a Titan because it had like no AOE? That's all I was thinking. Is like, I just want to click Titan on that.
Alongside a bunch of equipment.
I just want to have 5,000 AOE.
In every area, you get to kill some monsters and then go on a small shopping spree. However, We know people liked having unique item rewards from Ritual, and we wanted that to still be present in the campaign, but we just couldn't give one out in every single area. Throughout each act, 2 times, and once in each interlude part, you'll see these clusters of more epic ritual effigies on the world map. When you reach these areas, you'll notice that unlike normal, the effigies aren't just in a random location in the area, but they're on top of the area's boss fight. By completing these boss rituals, the boss will then be carried forward and added to the next ritual in the cluster in the next area, where you'll face it as part of an increasingly dangerous series of boss waves. For example, the first cluster you'll encounter is shown here, containing large effigies in Clearfell, Mudburrow, the Grellwood, and the Grim Tangle. If you complete the ritual in Clearfell, the Hag boss will appear during the ritual in the Mudburrow, alongside the Devourer. Once you've completed that area, the ritual in the Grellwood will include Brambleghast, alongside the Hag and the Devourer.
My question, why would you do this to yourself in the campaign?
Then, to top it off, when you get to Grim Tangle, the ritual in that area will have its boss, the Rotten Druid, and the previous 3, totaling 4 boss fights in one epic final showdown. That's where the unique rewards come into play. By completing these epic boss ritual encounters, you then get to spend your tribute on unique items. Given ritual is the content of the league, we wanted to make sure it worked in multiplayer well. Historically, only the creator of the area gets to spend tribute at the end, while your friends just have to watch. We've made some improvements.
I mean, I'm down to do it in maps, but like...
In 055,
campaign, that seems
every
crazy.
party member earns their own tribute and can spend it on their own rewards, so no one has to miss out. In order to make it not too rewarding in groups, we've restricted it so party members are unable to reroll the shop, and they have fewer options available to choose from. So, that's the campaign and a multiplayer improvement, but what about the endgame? Given that ritual was already available to be added to your maps. Well, once you reach the endgame, you'll still have ritual encounters in every area, and they'll still give unique items and omens, but we've added one extra mechanic here to add new difficulty and reward heights to your endgame maps. After completing rituals in endgame, you want to keep an eye out for this item, a Sacred Bloom, which you can spend tribute on to acquire. If you happen to find one, you can then use it and apply an entrance to the Wildwood to an in-game map of your choice on the Atlas. Then, when you enter that map, you'll find this entrance at the start of the area. By entering into the Wildwood, you have limited time.
It's just Wildwood.
But while in the Wildwood, you can find wisps.
It's just juicing your map.
The trails of them and collect as many as possible. There are 3 different types of wisps: Primal, Vivid, and Wild.
So it's just Affliction?
When you then have to exit the Wildwood, the wisps are freed and will spread across the map, possessing and influencing many monsters. Primal wisps, when freed, can cause normal monsters to become magic monsters. Vivid wisps, when freed, can add additional modifiers to rare monsters. And Wild wisps add rarity of items dropped to all monsters. If you're rarely lucky, keep an eye out for these Sacred Wisps. I wonder what they do. Of course, you can gather all 3 types of wisps if you really want to juice your maps. And by using ritual tablets, you can increase the amount of wisps found while in the Wildwood. Be warned though, while affected monsters drop better items, the wisps also empower them, making them considerably more difficult to defeat. So, that's the Forbidden Rites event. While it isn't a full league in the traditional sense, it gives you the perfect opportunity to start in a fresh economy. For those of you who enjoy having clear goals to work towards, this event league also introduces a new set of 8 challenges. These include completing the campaign rituals, defeating named rare monsters, reaching level 90, and more. Completing them will earn you 4 exclusive cosmetic rewards and a statue for your hideout to commemorate your success. Swarm your enemies with the Locust Footprints effect, and send your foes scurrying to their demise with the Locust Swarm Finisher effect. Fear the dark no longer with your Wildwood Guardian pet at your side, and level up in fashion with the Wildwood Affliction level up effect. Next, let's talk about the Trial of Chaos. Since Early Access launched, we've received a lot of feedback about the Trial of Chaos.
Yeah, success.
It was just obvious that it wasn't good enough. So we've gone through pretty much every part of this trial and made improvements across the board. There's so much to cover here, so let's just fire away with some of the more important changes. Starting with a banger. You can now leave the Trial of Chaos between rooms and resume later at your leisure. Alongside improving almost every aspect of the encounter types, we've made far more of the rooms just about slaying all the enemies, instead of the more specific objectives like escorting the statue or implanting soul cores.
Those are my favorite,
We've
man.
increased the size of that pesky elevator and made them more responsive. We've made the doors between rooms open quicker and from further away. We've shortened the distance between rooms to have less running. We've added a lot more inherent scaling to the area and to the Trial of Sekimas too, to account for the lack of Atlas Tree. We've made the Trial Master only time freeze to spawn in all the monsters once at the start of the run, instead of in many of the rooms. On top of that, we have done a full pass on all the modifiers, making them significantly less dangerous at lower tiers, and rising to the same difficulty at their maximum tier. Additionally, all the modifiers now grant bonuses to item rarity too. The modifiers now also have better descriptions, being more explicit about what danger you're signing up for. We've also added a new kind of modifier, called a wager modifier. These are meta mods that can significantly increase the danger and reward of your trial. For example, this one increases the tier of every modifier already applied to your run, but in exchange for that, doubles all
Two
the currency you've
regos.
earned so far
Do
in the
it.
run. There's about a dozen of these, and they have some pretty interesting effects. Sometimes you want to apply them early in the run, other times late. They add a very cool dynamic element to the mod selection between rooms. The Uxmal the Beast Lord boss fight in the Trial of Chaos has had its arena redesigned entirely. Less flying, more attacking. The more significant elite monsters that spawn during the Trial of Chaos are now more dangerous, but more rewarding. Speaking of rewards, you can now also find these chests between each room to get some bonus items for your efforts. And the rewards available when choosing modifiers no longer offer random corrupted items, now exclusively offering only currency items and soul cores. Oh, and we've done a full balance pass on those too, to make them more powerful, alongside adding some new ones to the trial and endgame. Speaking of the trial and endgame, for those looking for a greater challenge, you'll no longer need to have to stop after 10 rooms. You can now continue all the way to room 30, with the difficulty and rewards escalating as you progress. Combined with the previously mentioned wager modifiers, the rewards of these runs can get very, very juicy. Reaching these later rooms will also allow you to obtain all 3 Trial Master fragments in a single run, giving skilled players a clear and reliable path towards facing the Trial Master rather than leaving their progress entirely to chance. We've moved the functionality of the wager currency mechanic from magic inscribed ultimatums that could drop from the Trial Master into the base mechanic. This can be accessed at the end of every 10th room. Overall, this is a much more polished version of the Trial of Chaos, and we
It's still
think
the Trial of
it addresses
Chaos,
many
though,
of the
but-
concerns players have raised over the past several months. When we introduced the new endgame and Return of the Ancients, we wanted the journey through the fortress to feel epic, and it was. But your first time progressing through it, it is a massive undertaking. With a fresh economy, we wanted to make the fortress easier to complete, so in 055, we're making some changes. After completing the main questline, you can now just venture out of the fortress and find another Arbiter of Divinity key. By defeating this more difficult version of the boss, all remaining sections of the fortress will be automatically completed. Now, onwards to Abyss. We're introducing a new Atlas feature centered around it. We wanted to add more things to find when exploring the Infinite Atlas, so we've added these new abyssal ravines that can appear. Each map on the ravines has abysses in it, and as you complete each along it, the next map gets more and more rewarding as you push the Abyssal Legion back. When you reach the last map on the ravine, you'll have a guaranteed Abyssal boss encounter. The Forbidden Rites event will not have Runes of Aldo content in each area. But fret not. Pharaoh, Danig, and Expedition content is still going to be available in the Atlas as core, and that includes standard leagues. You can now continue to find expeditions in-game, but from Act 4 onwards. In the endgame, expedition tablets will now be available, allowing for some new levels of investment into the league. Such as having 2 full expeditions in just one area, alongside up to 2 standalone Remnant encounters. With tablet mods, you can now even get many sentries per expedition, resembling an almost sentry minion build as you run around and apply runic modifiers to monsters across the maps. The existing Runes of Aldo League will continue to run, so if you want to keep playing there, finishing your endgame and completing challenges,
Like 2
feel
leagues at
free
once.
to do so. So
Come on,
that's all our
Jackass.
new content summarized for this Event League and 055 update. In case you didn't see it alongside Path of Exile 1's release for Curse of the Allflame, here's a reminder to check out our supporter packs and mystery box that release with it, which are now fully available for use in Path of Exile 2 as well. These include the Plague and Remedis supporter packs, and the Curse of the Allflame mystery box, with some epic items including armor sets, weapon skins, weapon effects, map devices, hideouts, a new tracking scroll, some otters, and much more. If you would like to purchase the Curse of the Allflame mystery box, it's available now through the in-game shop and Path of Exile 2 website. For more information, head to pathofexile2.com/mystery box for all the details. We'll also be releasing some cool new armor sets and skill effects alongside this release. Check these out. If you're interested, keep an eye out on the store with the new release. Thanks for your support. Now, we had originally thought we were going to deploy a much larger balance pass in this patch, but unfortunately, with all the other work going on for our 1.0 release, we were not able to get these changes ready in time. It's been a lot more work than we expected, so rather than deploy something substandard, we decided it would be better to take our time with the balance changes and just release the Event League anyway. All those balance changes that were slated for 055 will now be happening in 1.0 instead. The full release patch is shaping up to be a huge one, and if you haven't done so yet, you can acquire exclusive milestone rewards just by signing up at pathofexile2.com for the 1.0 full release. Also, we hope you join us for ExileCon on November 7th New Zealand time to see what else we've been cooking up. But in the meantime, we hope you enjoy the Forbidden Rites event, which starts at the end of next week. See you in Rayclast. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D, so get your questions ready.
So, no patch notes? Because there's no changes? I mean, I said I wasn't expecting much, but I was honestly expecting some patch changes. That's kind of crazy. Okay. You remember all those stupid meme characters I was making in PoE 2 last time I was playing it? I guess I'm doing a few more of those. Yeah, it's just like, it's almost feel free to skip, honestly. I'll play.
G'day and welcome back, Exiles. Around the world, I'm Ziggy D in Australia. We've got Jonathan over at Gamescom, and we've got Mark in New Zealand. So we're all over the place this time, coming at you remotely for some Q&A to talk about what we saw with the Duelist today, the 0.55.
The Duelist stuff looks kind of decent, honestly.
Little questions that you might have in a bit of a mini Q&A session. Thanks for joining us.
It's just gonna be, it's just melee but fast.
Where some lucky people are able to actually play the Duelist. How's it been going?
Absolutely. So
Yeah, it's honestly been great. It's really good to see players just being able to play and experience the game. It's always fun. But my voice is actually a bit screwed right now because I've been kind of yelling over the loudness of the Gamescom. Trying to explain complicated duelist mechanics. In yelling form, so my voice is a bit messed up. So hopefully you guys can forgive that. But yeah, it's always fun talking to to players and journalists and seeing what they think.
Yeah, have you been able to get some good kind of in-person feedback there, since you're right there with people as they're playing?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's great.
Volume, isn't it pretty loud?
Who's been one of the designers, working on the Duelist as well. He's been able to get direct feedback, talk to players as well. It's been really good.
Awesome. And Mark, you're over in New Zealand where you were just working on the endgame builds that you showcased in that video there, which were pretty spicy. How are things going over there in the studio?
Well, I'm at home right now, but it's been pretty hectic. Just putting.
They're saving all their stuff for 1.0, man.
But yeah, these in-game builds we just had to put together in the last. Honestly, it felt like the last week. Really, is when I was like, okay, we've got to theory craft some epic shit. Let's put it together, and came up with. I said made by developers. Technically, that is true, but I kind of theory crafted both of them, and was like, let's get cranking and. They both seemed pretty fun. I mean, they were definitely fun to play. Hopefully, they were fun to watch. But there's a lot more as well. So there's good dozen builds I had in mind, and I was like, oh, we were going to go with them, and we're going down a whole bunch of different paths, and it just kind of ended up. I was like, I want to do something traditional that uses a bunch of swords.
What are the chances? Because right now in the current game, all the bleed builds are stupid. That Duelist actually makes some bleed builds actually good to play. What are the chances?
Make it happen, but of course. The difference between me making builds and players making builds is you have to make a build with what works, whereas I make the build and then I'm like, go and make it happen, development team. Thank you. So
change the balance until it works, basically.
Yeah.
Make this a thing. Well, you certainly have a lot to work there with the Duelist. There is a lot going on there. I know, Jonathan, you personally were just telling me earlier that you're very excited for the Duelist in particular, and that it's the most fun you've had with the game so far, or something to that effect.
Absolutely. I really love this class. I really love melee combat in games. It's something that I really enjoy, and this one really, honestly, I would say finally kind of delivers something that I would say is peak melee in an ARPG. I honestly really love it. But also just there's so many intricacies to the skill design in this class that's really interesting. I don't think we've ever sort of woven so many different ways to kind of do mechanics with all the different with all different skills. Every skill is designing 3 or 4 skills, honestly, just due to all the different ways that you can use them.
I might play I think I'm just gonna start making stupid PoE 2 characters already.
There's tomorrow. You electrify it, now it's zapping things.
This PoE 2 time.
In some ways, but also kind of complicated too.
No patch notes though. It's crazy.
There's a ton of nuance to it, but even so, I had a chance to play it last time. We're
gonna have to unlock our inner Mathel and just start playing everything.
There's some sort of intuitiveness to how the skills end up working together, where you can almost.
That's
play
crazy.
Some of those descriptions, I think, which is good because there's a lot of descriptions you have to write for those. Given the
it's actually kind of interesting in the studio because the people who are more, I guess, stat focused are actually the ones that feel the class is more complicated and the ones who just take it as they see it. Because if you look at the number of stat sets, it is kind of crazy because you'll have it's you've got a buried blade explosion, and then you've got to be then buried blade when it's got electricity, and then buried blade explosion with electricity, with electricity, right? Or versus just the electrical hits, and it just ends up being half a dozen stat sets in every.
I wonder what the level of dooming is after this one. I can just hear Fubgun now. He's the same builds, or maybe I mean, I guess there's affliction stuff for him, but...
As good of a time as if you just try out the skill and see what it does. I guess that's sort of quite different than what a lot of our skills have been in the past, but I honestly really love it just because there's so many interesting ways to use the skills.
With this, just having such an extensive set of skill interactions compared to anything you've had so far, how challenging is designing this one and getting it to work and be playable in that way, say, compared to the Huntress and the Druid?
Well, I'll tell you what, this is one of the hardest classes to design, and a lot of it was swords are pretty much the most generic weapon ever, right? And you ask 10 different people what a sword does, and they'll give you 10 different answers. There are certain fantasies, and we kind of had to make sure we were delivering pretty much anyone's fantasy of a sword, and there's quite a few different ones, right? So, that you have to go through. But I think the kind of thing that ties it all together is that to me, swords are about the kind of that flow feeling. That's what I kind of wanted to nail, and that's where the whole sort of ready stance thing kind of came from. So it took a lot of iteration to get there. I went through so many different designs of the way that swords could work, and eventually it's funny because the whole blood in the sand thing wasn't even part of the initial design. And at some point I realized that some of the stuff that was kind of close to that. And I'm like, oh yeah, hang on. In PoE 1 we've got this blood and sand theme. What if we actually took that and like effectively used that theme on top of some of the mechanics we were designing? And then it all kind of really rapidly came together after that. Like we suddenly realized, like, yeah, this is sort of the feel, like the theme of like physical stuff that we can go with for the Duelist, and it ended up working really well. So I'm really happy with the way that ended up.
Yeah, the stance thing in particular, I remember when I was trying it, like, and you're talking about flow and how important that was. And I remember I was having an issue where I really wanted to get into ready stance and then move to the next monster to execute my next skill.
Right.
But that would break ready stance. But I noticed that that's something that you've solved in the new iterations. You've got this way that you can even carry through now.
Yeah, so since you played that, we added the idea that there are some skills that you can use without breaking ready stance, and in particular, the rending dash that you can use to sort of dash from one place to another. Having that be an option that you can do without breaking ready stance sort of allows for that repositioning that you can do, and it honestly speeds up quite a lot what you can do. I didn't use it that much.
Should I even listen to this? I'm playing Titan. No. I think I'm gonna make a Titan. I have like a rough idea of kind of something I'm gonna play and try. I don't know what I want to kill with though on single target. Twitch all fucked up, probably because the GTA stuff. Well, I guess no patch notes. That was a weird one. I'm down to play still though. We'll make a few characters. I think I'll make a character tomorrow and just kind of like fuck around in PoE 2 world. Maybe some other bullshit before this thing comes out, but
options that
got a couple uniques as well. We've got at least one sand stance.
I'll be back tomorrow. I'm just gonna end the stream. There's nothing to do.
And
It's like my bedtime anyway right now.